Hey, it's Clint. Welcome to my irregular video. I want to talk about crowdfunding comics and potentially a future route. I don't know. I'll see what you guys think. I think inevitably, though, there's going to be some maturation. There's got to be some maturing of the process, and it's just natural. It's going to happen. It has been the Wild West for so long. I still think right now it's a bit of the Wild West, but I think those that get things figured out are going to do well. So we're going to get into that. Downcast, if you want to follow the single issue run on Alterna Comics, it's only $1.99 for Downcast #1. This is the first 26 pages of the story. You can get that now in the description below. Fatal is also on Indiegogo right now. We're over 91,000, and it's been slowly and steadily climbing. So I think 92,000 is within reach relatively soon. And also, I one night I was feeling, I don't know, anxious, and so I wanted to just do something, put some stuff together, and I got carried away. And I put together the Downcast 3 campaign. There's your sneak peek. That's all I'm going to show you yet. And it was, I don't know, therapeutic, I guess, but I got carried away. There's other more pressing things I need to do, but I don't know. I needed to do it. So there we go. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to it. Thinking about crowdfunding and what is the future? How do you stabilize this thing? Crowdfunding is weird to build an entire business off of. And I know that there are some people, your boy Zach does it. He's also getting supplemental income from YouTube. He's got an awful lot of ads on his videos. I need to start doing that, maybe. But I don't think it's a lot of money, just based off views. Ethan Van Sciver he's making some money off of YouTube and super chats, I'm sure. Live streams. Actually, having a live stream and getting one super chat can be more money than you're gonna make on a video, depending on how well the video does. And so I don't know. Live streams are good for that. Live streams are not good for growing a channel, though. I don't even think they're great for. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to people that aren't into it, aren't already a fan or following your videos, because live streams are so long. You really have to be dedicated to watch a live stream. So new people, it makes sense. Anyway, but crowdfunding being the base of a comic book company, I don't think it's complete. I don't think it really makes a lot of sense. Crowdfunding is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but for it to be the end all be all is, I think, a mistake. And I think this year is going to prove a bit more of that. I have people constantly asking me, if they can come onto my stream, which I don't stream that often, and promote their comics. And it ends up being, I'm realizing the market is getting more and more saturated with crowdfunding campaigns. Now, if there's good books, like great looking comics, I don't think it matters. Like, you're going to find ways to stick out. That's great. But crowdfunding as it stands right now, the reason why I think it was so successful is because there are relatively few comic books on crowdfunded sites. There's a route that you can succeed at crowdfunding. That route still exists. But again, like, if you're thinking of leaving mainstream comics to move to crowdfunding, and you think you're going to stand out because you are just a talented person, I'm sure you are. I'm sure of it. But I think you're going to be disappointed because there's a lot more to it than that. So I've been thinking a little bit about some of the restrictions of crowdfunding. I cannot run 3 campaigns at a time. I don't think people have the patience for me to do that. I think there are creators out there that can. Clearly, there are some that demonstrate that they can. I don't think that I can. So while I'm with Downcast 3, Nacho he's got 30 pages of line art done. 20 of those pages are already colored, and we're going for 60 pages for the main story in it this time. So we've upped the page count. I'm at the point where I could launch it. but I already have a campaign sitting there. Now, technically, you're not supposed to be able to launch another one, but there's so many examples of, Indiegogo being fine with it as long as, I guess, backers don't have a problem with it as long as you're fulfilling your promises. But I don't know. You always run into this. You're going to, because unless you can make one campaign pay all of your bills, not just the cost of making the book and producing the book, but that one campaign pay all your bills for a year. Crowdfunding alone is not going to do it. It's great for part-time, if you want to do part-time comics, but it's not going to be a good foundation for most people's comic book careers. And I think that's true. So Neon from Clownfish TV posted this on Twitter. He says, technically, creators could do crowdfunding pre-orders through their own self-hosted e-commerce sites and bypass Kickstarter and Indiegogo altogether. Webcomics people did it years ago. It was a thing. And then, of course, he's got, but that's none of my business, frog meme. It's funny he posted this because I've been thinking an awful lot about this lately, and I'm not the only one. The natural evolution from crowdfunding is where you're going to have a little bit more permanent of a home, especially because I am constantly seeing people say that if you're the wrong kind of person, you can't have a crowdfunding campaign. They try to push you off these kinds of platforms. So it just makes sense to have something. So I am building a website, but I don't know if I could go from, hey, I'm launching a campaign on Indiegogo to, hey, I've got a website. Let's see. I can't show it to you yet. It's not quite finished. I've got a website. Everyone go there and pre-order. What are we missing? What is missing? Okay. No, first, before I tell you what's missing, here are the upsides. When you crowdfund on Indiegogo, you have to pay a credit card processing fee. I think it's like 2.6%, something like that. And when you're doing a campaign that's $91,000 high, that's a significant chunk of money. Then you're going to be paying Indiegogo another 5%, something like that, of your funds raised, and that is just for the luxury of being on Indiegogo. And that's not a terrible deal. It's worse on Kickstarter. But on top of that, they also keep some money aside in case there are refunds. So whenever you ask for a refund, there's some money there, assuming the entire backer list doesn't call for a refund. That would be devastating. But they do keep a chunk of money back, and you can't use that money until after you finish your campaign. So the hope is that you make enough over your goal to cover Indiegogo's fees and also let them hold on to a chunk of money before you can finish the campaign. I'll even just tell you, in Fatal's case, it's almost $5,000 that they're just sitting on. It just sits there. And so, yeah, that's just part of the deal. If you could do it on your website, you're paying smaller credit card processing fees. You could actually ship things for less. I figured this out. If you have a Shopify store, or I'm sure there are others, if you have an online e-commerce store, even like eBay, you actually have access to steeper discounts. eBay charges less for first-class shipping than you would get through stamps.com by yourself. I think you can get some kind of discount if you have an incredible amount of volume, but I don't know how high that volume has got to be before you get that discount. But I'm talking, the discount is so steep. You're talking medium L. It's competitive with medium L if you ship with eBay's discount. Okay, and that's first class mail. So what's not to love about that? You can get access to shipping discounts if you're not just using your own stamps.com account. If you're linked up to some other platform, again, like Shopify, like eBay, or I'm sure many others. So there's, with so many financial advantages to doing your own site, having a pre-order basis, and then shipping out the books from there. Why would you not do that? The weird thing is that the only answers that say otherwise are psychological reasons, but they're big ones. And it has a lot to do with this number that you see here, the total number raised and the backer number. This is social proof. That's the reason why crowdfunding is, I think, as successful as it is because you can go there, you get hyped up, you get excited that people are backing a campaign. When you don't see those numbers, you're less likely to back. And that's why you're seeing companies like Boom do more crowdfunding. Same with Dynamite. You're going to be seeing more and more bigger publishers moving over to crowdfunding. And that's because you have social proof. Now, the other component to crowdfunding that makes sense is that if people are used to going to Indiegogo or Kickstarter to look for comic books, you're going to pick up some people that just happen to be searching there. They're just naturally going to come across you in the marketplace, and then they're going to buy. How many of those people? I don't know. I really don't know. I think that it's inflated, honestly. I think most people assume, that's why you have so many people assume that they can launch a campaign. If you build it, they will come. And they're so disappointed when they get such low numbers of people backing a campaign. And that's because most people that go to crowdfunding are sent there by you. You're the one building the mailing list. You're the one sending people there to go get the book. But there are still a number of people that discover you by happenstance. They just happen to be on Indiegogo. They see your campaign, it looks good, and then they back it. And you don't want to miss those people. So I've considered maybe doing an experiment on my own website, not for a full-on campaign, maybe for, I don't know, if I need to do a reprint, or maybe if I need to do like an ash can or like a mini comic one shot, something small, something that doesn't have such high stakes that you really need to make the money to work. I would be curious in trying that to see if people would go directly to a website. It would save me money, first off, because I don't have to pay as many companies. It would save you money because we wouldn't have to pay as much money in shipping. And I mean, it just makes sense all around that way. So let me know what you think. I'd really appreciate knowing your thoughts. I'm not sure that I'd be ready to quite make the jump, but I would definitely consider it. Or is there a way to add social proof, something like backer numbers, things like that, to an online platform, your own website? That way people can see and get that social proof element. So you'd just be missing the marketplace, perhaps. Let me know for sure in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.